So, next weekend, I'm about to partake in my first ayahuasca ceremony. I've been waiting for the right time for it to present itself, and this just so happened to be it. I'm dog sitting at a friend's house that I'm staying at, and there just so happened to be flying in a Dieta next weekend, so of course I'm partaking. There's just been some stuff that I have been holding on to that I have a really hard time letting go of on my own, doing the shadow work and stuff, and being aware of all the things that I need to be doing and what's affecting me, how, why, all that stuff. But for some reason, it's really hard to let go of some anger and hurt and pain and all that stuff, you know? And there's also some other stuff that I want to work on, like fully connecting all parts of myself. I feel like I have a lot of blockages. I know I have a lot of blockages, and I don't feel like all parts of my body are connected. My mind and body definitely aren't. My feminine and masculine are not. I just feel very conflicted in some parts of myself. So I'm like needing some help unblocking some of that stuff and letting the energy flow more through my body and coming out of this lack mindset. It is so hard with the harsh conditioning of the Matrix to fully let go, and like the way that I grew up and like my recent seasons in life, it's been a little hard when previously, or at least like there was a period where I don't feel like I really had that, and now I'm really struggling with that. So I'm hoping to get some help with this as well. So in the beginning, I know that I said I'm doing an ayahuasca ceremony, but technically it is Yagé. And from what I understand, it is pretty much the same thing. It is just, they are just prepared a little bit different. So the Dieta that is coming in is from Colombia, and that's where they call it Yagé. And this is just from the research that I've been doing online. I have not really had people around me yet to ask the question, so if I'm getting any of this wrong, do not come for me. I will learn. So I'm starting the documenting a week before because there's a dieta that you have to follow, and it's the way that you're supposed to be eating to prepare yourself for the ceremony, and that is to cleanse your body of toxins and certain energies and be clean and clear within yourself so that the medicine works through you and it works the way that it's supposed to, and other energies don't interfere with the medicine. So my week dieta is starting today, a week before the ceremony. These are the things that you cannot eat during this time. No salt, no sugar, and these are added, of course. No meat, no processed foods. Oh, no animal products either. This is the hard part. No spice and no spicy. So you can't do any spices. You're eating pretty much plain plant-based food all week. But it's okay, it's a week, we'll get over it. Oh yeah, no caffeine, no alcohol, no drugs. That includes nicotine and weed. No sex. And I was told like anything that takes you out of your center. I even seen on some of the lists online, it was saying no garlic, no onions, cilantro, all of that stuff is counted as spices as well. So it's like pretty much any herbs too, anything that you like really cook with. You just gotta boil shit, I guess. I'd even go as far as to saying no social media, because that is very distracting, I'd say uncentering, clouding your mind and not really focusing and stuff. I'm already doing that, so I'm good. But yeah, that could be a good one too. Okay, one more thing I forgot. No chocolate, even if it's dark chocolate, even if it's straight cacao, because it has caffeine in it. I am writing down my intentions for my ceremony. What I need help with, what I want to let go of, what I want to change, what I want to be, so that it's all very clear when the ceremony comes and energy can just flow through very easily. I am also being really present with myself, my thoughts, my reactions, my behaviors, so that I may be able to add things to that list of changes. I'm allowing myself to take more time for myself, slow down, and not really worrying about pleasing or entertaining others. I'm just doing what I need to for myself right now. I'm gonna show you real quick some things that I ate for the week. Okay, for any of you guys thinking about doing plant medicine or any other sacred ceremony or going on a spiritual journey, whatever, I need you to know the importance of integrating. So many people are chasing these experiences, these huge releases, these realizations, expecting the medicine or whatever other modality you're using to do all of the work. These are just supposed to be tools to help you on your journey, to show you what it is you need to work on, or even help you like with releasing or giving you the courage or whatever. If you don't create the new habits and incorporate those lessons that you get into your life, you're still going to be dealing with the same issues. Or even worse, you're just going to marvel at the experience and the feelings that you had, and you're going to want to do it again, and you're going to hold on to your old habits while thinking you're enlightened and changed, but you're going to keep seeking out that experience to make you feel good, to distract you from the real work. This is not something to magically change your life, like you take ayahuasca and that's it. It does all the hard work. The hard work is within you. Changing your aesthetic and wearing the flower of life and talking about chakras is not real change, and this is how we get spiritual narcissism, and that's a video for another time. So I got recommended to do a Yoni Steam and some womb healing, which is perfect because I already planned on doing that. I even already have some herbs that I got from an herbalist friend, and I actually just did a womb healing session yesterday, and that it was crazy. It was intense, and it was what I've been needing, and it is very relevant to what I am trying to work through and do some healing on when it comes to my ayahuasca journey. So ladies, if you're also wanting to do an ayahuasca journey, I do recommend doing it, especially if your womb space, your femininity has to do with the part of why you're going on your journey. So whether it's from trauma, especially like sexual abuse or anything, or just trauma within the patriarchy, letting go of shame, working through blockages that you have, trying to move energy, just healing with your femininity and coming more into your femininity, it's definitely a good choice for preparation. So here's a quick overview on how I prepared this Yoni Steam. I boiled some water and I put my herbs in for about a minute, and it was like about a couple tablespoons. I turned off the heat and let it set for a minute. I then transferred it to another little pot that wasn't heated so I didn't burn myself. Then I set the pot between two cushions so that I could be elevated to be able to sit over the pot. I got situated and used my pash to cover myself to keep the steam in. And I just took my time to meditate and connect with my womb and focus in on my intentions and my body. Alright, today is the day of the ceremony. I'm going to be fasting today so that I don't have food in my stomach to throw up, and so I don't mess with the absorption of the medicine. I'm also not going to be filming the ceremony. I hope you weren't expecting that, because we're definitely not going to normalize that here. But yeah, so I'm out and I'll check in with you guys after. It has now been a couple days since the ceremony. I wanted to give it some time for me to process things and integrate and just feel into stuff, which I'm still doing. I'm sure it'll be some more days or even some weeks, whatever, after the whole integration process, but I feel after journaling and stuff now and really just being and processing everything that I could share a bit now. First, I want to start off with the ceremony itself. So there were about 30 people total that were there, and I gotta say it was really interesting witnessing some other people's shadows come out. So I was pretty much one of the only ones that don't fully comprehend all Spanish. So I understand a good amount, but I was not confident in myself fully to understand everything. So in the beginning, we were told not to drink a lot of water so that the medicine can absorb into our body and all that stuff. We don't want to flush it out too fast and throw it up because that's what happens. So I think I already was not drinking enough water before because it's pretty hot here in Mexico. So I think I was already dehydrated. And I guess what we took is a lot thicker compared to other brews. So it was almost like a syrup. When they poured it, it was like a cup this big, and they would only fill it up like not even halfway. And some people were kind of filling it like the first round, and then they allowed us to come up and get more, and then more people started to fill it. So I had my second round, and I was feeling nauseous. Like I could feel it in my stomach, but I was not getting any effects even by the second round. And more time passes by, and then so I go up for my third round, and this is probably like at least 2 or 3 hours into the ceremony now, and we started around midnight, so it's like 2-3 a.m. and everyone's going through their things. People are yelling, crying, throwing up, all this stuff. And yeah, I wasn't feeling really anything yet, and I go up and he's like, "You haven't vomited yet?" I'm like, "Nope." And he's like, "You're not feeling any effects, no visuals?" And I'm like, "Nothing." So he fills up my cup this time. He's like, he pours it all the way. And so I take that. It was so disgusting. It's so bad. And then so after that, I'm like, it has to hit now. Like, I'm just gonna sit with it. And if not, like, maybe I just need to let go of my expectations and just accept that it's not going to be anything super crazy, super intense like people say it usually is. So I just accept that fact that if that's how it is, then that's how it is. Lay down, it was freezing, so I'm just kind of like curled up and trying to keep myself warm, and I'm like meditating with it and trying to talk to the spirit of the Yagé, and finally like I start getting some effects, and it was very DMT like. I started to get a little bit of like, you need to trust in yourself, listen to your body, and follow your intuition, because like I gaslight myself a lot, and it's like I know things, but like for some reason like I'll still let people's doubts or whatever make me doubt, and just like maybe some like lack of confidence, whatever. And so it was just like really gentle, like little reminders like that. And I already had a feeling like before the ceremony that like earlier in the week that it probably wasn't going to be super intense because of like those expectations. Like I had a feeling it was going to be really gentle, and it was as it was starting to come in. But it was really interesting. Like I said, it was like DMT. There was a point where I was laying down and I had my eyes closed, and there was just something weird happening with my body. And then I feel like I astral projected, but I was still in my body at the same time, or at least like before that, and I was like floating above the ceremony, and my eyes were closed and I could see what everyone's doing. And there are some other things, but eventually some time passes and I see the sun starting to come up, and like by now I have like some pretty strong-ish visuals. And like as the sun's coming up, finally it hits me that like I should drink some water. That's probably why I'm not throwing up, because I was still feeling sick. Like I'm dehydrated, like I feel the dehydration now. I need to drink some water. And I was drinking like a little bit of water before, but I just still had it in my head to not drink too much water, so I didn't drink too much water. And yeah, so finally I chug some water, and when I do that, then I start throwing it all up. And And then that's when it really starts to kick in. And after I'm done throwing up and everything and I'm like fully cleaned out, then I like really drink like some water to hydrate. And I've never had the sensation of water tasting sweet. Like, it was so sweet going into my mouth, and like the sensation of that I was it sounds so weird, but like it was like sensual, or like, I don't know, sexual is the word, but it was very much like I was drinking life essence. Like, it was a really interesting feeling and sensation. Anyways, so finally when it starts hitting me, it was really gentle. I was expecting this super intense experience, and I mean, like, it was very visual, very like feeling a lot, very like sacred geometry and all that stuff, but there was no crazy demons or shadows or like death or anything that some people experience. And I think that's because I feel very grounded in what I know I want for myself. Like, I already know exactly what I want. I know what I need to do. Like I face all my shadows, and I'm very open to working on things. And that's what I was doing, like, for my whole preparation. Like, during the Dieta, I was really, like, when I was taking time to slow down and really observe everything, like, I felt like I did a good chunk of that work during the preparation leading up to the ceremony, that, like, I didn't have this super crazy, like, awakening or like death or whatever, because like I wasn't hiding from myself. The only thing that like I had been hiding from before was my sexual abuse as a kid, but that's something over the last few months it has been pulling at me to face it. And that's something that I had come to accept, is that like it's time for me to face that. And that is something that I had done a little work with when I had the womb healing session. It worked on like the physical trauma, I think, stored in my body. And so when that came up during the ceremony, it wasn't like super intense. It was more so like I don't know, like a hug of just feeling for my inner child and me as a woman, and just letting go of like the shame and the pain and all that stuff, and healing through that, and knowing what I need to do and having the courage to do that. And that was the biggest thing for me for wanting to do this ceremony, was to work through that, because it is something that has affected me through my whole life, and it has affected most parts of my life, and I feel like have stopped me from living in a way, and definitely from connecting to anybody. So, and now that I have faced that, I feel so much more like free. Like, I feel like I have my power back. I have so much more energy. I feel so different, and I feel great. I feel amazing, and I feel like I have my life back. And there's still, of course, like things to work through. It doesn't just make the experience or all of the pain go away, but it does make it, I feel easier to face it. Because like I said, it gave me like courage and everything, and the want to do that. So I know there's definitely a lot more to this journey still. Have to confront the person and everything. I don't know what else, but I know that there's so many other women in my life that has gone through this as well. So I'm glad that I have support and people to ask for advice on this. And it's something I do want to make a separate video on, along with like another insight that I had during the ceremony. But with the sexual abuse specifically, I don't know, you always hear like that thing of like, oh, this thing happened for a reason, so you could whatever, so you could do something with it. And I'm like, yeah, well, what the fuck is that? Like, why would I choose to go through this shit? And now I know that me facing this and me having this experience and knowing how to work through it and all the other things, because I observe and analyze a lot of stuff, psychology, sociology, the micro macro of like relations and energy, all that shit. So now I know that learning from this experience, healing from this experience, and talking about it out loud so that others, especially women, are able to heal themselves and break their cycles within their families, that I could help others through in that way. So yeah, I'm gonna do a separate video on the analysis and everything with that experience.